A 22-year-old putting away $100 a month will retire richer than someone who drops $50,000 at age 40. The math behind this breaks most people's intuition about money, and it's one of the most powerful forces in the financial system. Compound interest is why retirement accounts exist, why credit card debt spirals, and why financial advisors obsess over time in the market. It's also the reason two people can save roughly the same dollar amount but end up in completely different financial positions. The system doesn't reward you for how much. You save nearly as much as it rewards you for when you start and how long you stay invested. Let's define what we're actually talking about. Simple interest means you earn a return only on your original principal, your starting amount. If you put in $1,000 at 5% simple interest, you make $50 every year, forever. Compound interest means you earn returns on your principal plus all the accumulated interest from previous periods. That same $1,000 at 5% compound interest earns $50 the first year, then $52.50 the second year, because you're now earning 5% on $1,050, then $55.13 the third year. The base keeps growing. Think of it like a snowball rolling downhill. It doesn't just get bigger by accumulating snow on the outside. The snow that's already stuck also picks up more snow as it rolls. The longer the hill, the more dramatic the difference between the snowball that started at the top versus one that started halfway down. Here's exactly how the mechanics work. Let's walk through a real example with small numbers first, then scale up to retirement. Say you invest $1,000 today at a 7% annual return. After year one, you have $1,070, your original $1,000 plus $70 in earnings. In year two, you don't earn another $70. You earn 7% of $1,070, which is $74.90. Your new balance is $144.90. In year three, you earn 7% of that, about $80.14, bringing you to $1,004. Notice the earnings themselves are growing. By year 10, that single $1,000 becomes $1,967 without you adding another dollar. By year 30, it's $7,612. By year 40, it's $14,974. The same initial investment, just sitting there, multiplies nearly 15-fold, purely because each year's growth becomes part of next year's starting point. Now let's run the retirement race. Person A starts at age 22, contributes $100 per month, that's $1,200 per year, and does this for 40 years until age 62. Total amount personally contributed, $48,000. Person B waits until age 40, then makes a one-time deposit of $50,000 and lets it grow for 20 years until age 62. Both earn 7% annual returns, compounded annually. Intuition says person B should win. They put in more money. But at age 62, person A has approximately $265,000. Person B has approximately $193,000. Person A ends up with $72,000 more despite contributing $2,000 less. The difference is time. Person A's early contributions had decades to compound. The $100 they put in at age 22 grew for 40 years and became roughly $1,497 all by itself. The $100 they put in at age 30 had 32 years and became about $913. Meanwhile, person B's $50,000 only had 20 years to work, growing to about 3.87 times its original value. Person A's dollars, on average, had twice as long to multiply, and in exponential systems, doubling the time does way more than doubling the contribution. This is where people get tripped up. The first misconception is that contribution size matters most. It matters, but it's not the dominant variable. A $10,000 contribution at age 25 will outgrow a $30,000 contribution at age 50 by retirement, assuming identical returns. The second misconception is that compound interest is linear but faster. People imagine it like earning a bonus every year that stacks up. In reality, it's exponential. The rate of growth itself accelerates over time. Early on, the numbers look boring. After 10 years, that $1,000 investment has only doubled. But between year 30 and year 40, it nearly doubles. Again. Same percentage, wildly different dollar amounts because the base is so much larger. The third confusion, I can catch up later by saving more. Mathematically, you can, but the required contribution explodes. To match Person A's outcome starting at age 40, Person B would need to save around $560 per month for 20 years, not $100. Time is cheaper than money when it comes to compounding. Here's where the simple story gets complicated. Compound interest assumes a consistent rate of return, which real markets don't provide. In practice, you might earn 12% one year, lose 3% the next, gain 8% the year after. The average might be 7%, but the sequence matters. A big loss early in retirement, when your balance is highest, does more damage than the same loss early in accumulation. This is called sequence of returns risk. Also, the math we've used assumes annual compounding. Many savings accounts compound daily, which slightly increases returns. Investment accounts don't compound on a schedule. They fluctuate continuously, and you only lock in gains or losses when you sell. The 7% figure itself is an approximation of long-term stock market returns after inflation. It's not guaranteed, and it's not available in a savings account, which might offer 0.5% to 4% depending on the economy. Taxes complicate things further. In tax-deferred accounts like a 401k, you get the full compounding effect. In taxable brokerage accounts, you might pay taxes on dividends or interest each year, which slows compounding because you're pulling money out of the growth engine to pay the IRS. There's also the question of contributions. Our examples assumed lump sums or consistent monthly deposits, but real life is messier. If you contribute $100 a month for 5 years, stop, then resume 10 years later, you lose the compounding on the contributions you didn't make during the gap. The system rewards consistency over intensity. Finally, inflation quietly erodes compound interest. If your money grows at 7%, but inflation is 3%, your real return is closer to 4%. That $265,000 at age 62 has less purchasing power than $265,000 today. The compounding still works, but the finish line keeps moving. Compound interest is the financial system's way of rewarding patience and penalizing delay. It's not a trick or a hack, it's pure math. Money grows exponentially when returns are reinvested, and exponential functions are slow at first, then suddenly explosive. Starting earlier gives your contributions more doublings, and each doubling represents years of growth you can't buy back later. That's why small, consistent contributions starting young outperform large, late contributions. The 22-year-old's $100 isn't magic. It just had 40 years to multiply itself while they went about their life. The 40-year-old's $50,000 was substantial, but it only had half the runway. Time, not the size of the check, is the engine.